Your trusty friend Erobb. He'll come mow your lawn. And he might do it in style in a radical SR3. One thing's for sure, and that is that AJ Masek is not going to take the start. That means a clear first row for Anthony Guyan with quite an easy start for him. We are looking further back though, because it's not really a challenge for Anthony at the front. Chris Smith under attack from Jay Craig, a driver who led most of the race last time around at Lime Rock Park. They all get through in one piece, and that's important through turn one. How is the rest of this lap though? We do have Josh Olsen off. That's coming through turn two, the left-hander down the hill. Here we go. Last race provided us with drama and action. I think we can expect more of the same here in race two of the evening at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. And off for our leader already. Multiple drivers seemingly going off, struggling with colder tires. Getting these tires up to 10 isn't the easiest thing to do. All drivers still close to each other. But I think the biggest news so far in this race is that our pole sitter has not been able to keep that lead, even though he was about 1.2 seconds ahead of anyone. It's Connor Smith who's running away with things at the front, 9/10 of a second the gap. Guy chase him down now. And it's Jay Craig, 6/10 behind him, Andrew Berrien in P4. If you've seen one thing from the last race at Lime Rock Park, then it is that it doesn't matter where you are until that checkered flag falls, because it was pretty much Jay Craig's to take. Anthony Guyan, what have you done, sir? Anthony Guyan has gone off somewhere, has been able to regroup, regather himself, but he's down to P5, pole sitter, not having the opening stage of this race that he was hoping for at all. AJ Masek has rejoined the track. He's back in P8. We can't forget, championships are not won by winning one race. Championships are won by staying consistent. You can, oh, that's a big crash up ahead. Who's that? Is that Victor AJ Masek? It's Josh Olsen who gets involved in it. Erobb picks up the places there. He gets through on the both of them. AJ Masek gets through as well. It was Smith involved as well. Anthony Guyan now on the back of Sam Dunford. Dunford makes quick work of him. But that was a massive crash. Coming into the last corner, White's corner. Luckily for AJ Masek and Erobb, they were able to avoid that. So Erobb up into P8, you can say whatever you want about him, but he's settling in quite nicely into this race. Might not be the fastest, but at least he's keeping that car on the track. Jay Craig now behind Connor Smith. He's looking to the outsides of the S's. We'll give you the insight for the second part. Obviously, Connor Smith knows that as well. Different track, different drivers showing the pace. That's the interesting thing about these race meetings, these race weeks, is that we do two tracks an evening. So the second race will be nowhere near the same of the first one the evening. 19.255 from Jay Craig. That's already close to the lap time that he set in qualifying. These two at the front of the field pretty much trying to help each other. They know that, oh, I say helping each other, but that was contact between them. He's going into Moss corner. Into the Mario Andretti straightaway. He's going to bump draft. No, he isn't. Thought for a second that Jay Craig might go and bump draft. He takes to the outside. Has to be brave though around this first part of the S's. It's not easy to make a pass stick around the outside, but this is for the race lead. Jay Craig, the outside for the S's, doesn't make it stick though. Connor Smith retakes that lead. Anthony Nguyen though, hot on the heels of these two, 1.2 back. Jay Craig trying the outside for White's corner, also doesn't make it stick there. And that has now allowed for the pole sitter to catch back up to the two of them. And he's brought Andrew Berrien with him. Here comes Anthony Nguyen. He knows he has the pace. He's about 1.2 seconds quicker, or was about 1.2 seconds quicker in qualifying. Becoming a 4-horse race at the front of the field. Look at that. This is great to see. Drivers are settling into this race now. If we can have a 4-way fight at the front of the field until the end of this race, this might be one to go into the history books. Sam Dunford. P5, 4.1 seconds back. He might even be looking to try and catch up to the two of them. Jay Craig still trying to go around the outside of Connor Smith. Doesn't make it stick. Anthony Nguyen. Is he going to try a move? Dives to the inside very late. They all have to get around the back marker. That's Smith who they've just passed. Erobb still in P8. He's doing well. Anthony Nguyen, instead of trying to overtake Jay Craig ahead of him now, is now under attack from Andrew Berrien, who's trying to make his way up the inside of Moss, and he's managed to do so as well. Anthony Nguyen demoted down to P4. However, he does take that P3 back immediately. Here comes Moss. Back up to the Mario Andretti straightaway. It is Jay Craig who does manage to overtake Connor Smith now after a mistake from him coming out of 6. Just tells you, stay consistent. You don't need to be radical with these overtakes. See what I did there? You can take your time. A 30-minute race gives you plenty of time to capitalize on mistakes that other makes. It'll just give you great time to try and figure out where you're faster than the driver ahead. Anthony Nguyen has figured that out, and that's coming out of 1. That will give him the outside for 2, though, is forced onto the grass. There was a car with left for Anthony Nguyen. So put himself in that position, and you know when you put yourself on the outside, you put yourself on the penalty spot. And at that point, it's just a tap in for Chris Smith, excuse me. Squeezes him just enough for Anthony Nguyen to get a bit loose. Have to take to the grass. And Andrew Berrien did just get past Connor Smith, not without contact though. A little bit of a loft tap on the rear left of Connor Smith. Connor Smith now trying to come back on the inside of the S's. Surely not, right? Surely not. The outside for Andrew Berrien. He makes it stick. That is a brilliant move from Andrew Berrien. Makes his way up to P2 now. Chris Smith under attack from Anthony Nguyen. Making him look in his mirrors already. Mental games can begin. He's not putting himself in that position once again. I was going to say, Anthony, been there before. A little bit of an oversteer moment going down the hill, right all the way on the nose already. He does manage to catch it. Goodness me, that was must have been a scary one in the cockpit for Anthony Guywan. Tries to put his nose up the inside of Connor Smith. He's having none of it. Breaks late though, going into Moss corner. Manages to get it stopped. Slots back in behind Andrew Berrien. But Jay Greg at the front of the field, he looked quick. We do have to mention that at Lime Rock Park in the race as well. Difference is he took pole there as well, so he left that from almost lights the flag. If it wasn't for a back marker about 3 laps before the finish. Anthony Guywan does get through on Connor Smith now though. Gap at the front of the field from Andrew Berrien to Jay Craig. 2.6 seconds. Thank you for mentioning that we have a site for the best viewers. I do know one thing, and that's that we here at One Line Racing have the best viewers in chats already. Welcome in to all of you. Hope you are enjoying this racing. I certainly am. Been a cracking battle between the two here at the front. Anthony Guywan, after an off moment early on in this race, trying to make his way through the pack, had another off moment almost in Moss corner. Contact between Andrew Berrien and Connor Smith. Andrew Berrien does manage to at least keep the car pointing in the right direction. Did lose time on Anthony Guywan now. The gap for Anthony though, 3.3 seconds that he has to close down in 18 minutes of on our leader Jay Craig. Here is Erobb though, he's dropped down to P9, still on the track though. Victor in P10. But Erobb doing much better in this race than he did at Lime Rock Park. Getting to grips now with that simulator. AJ Masek trying to make his way back through the field. He's now only 1.9 back on Connor Smith as well. So he's gaining on the both of them. Is that Smith off in the background? Erobb's off the track. That's on a straightaway. Oh my goodness me. That's not where you want to be. Erobb, trust him for your lawn mowing. Sure, he can start a new business from... Oh my goodness. Oh, he's hard into the wall. He might just want to stick to lawn mowing. A big crash for Erobb. It sends him back into the pit lane. He was doing so well keeping that car on the track, staying consistent. They got a little bit overconfident and absolutely sent it into the wall at Moss corner. Connor Smith now trying to get past Andrew Berrien. Has to try and do so as well because he knows he's got AJ Masek coming up behind him. And he's no slouch on this track either. Yes indeed, he was mowing that grass good. You know, if he needs any tips, there is a lawn mowing simulator. There is one out there, pretty sure. AJ Masek, 1.2 seconds the gap now to Connor Smith. Might well pick up a podium here. And that's what you need. You don't need to win all of them. You need to be consistent to win a championship. Jay Craig, after finishing third at Lime Rock Park, or second at Lime Rock Park, behind AJ Masek, might now pick up a victory. Of course, we're not there yet. We're barely at the halfway point of this race. this race. 3.5 seconds clear of Anthony Guyon. He's bossing this race so far. Wasn't able to put in a lap time in qualifying somehow. Has now put in a 17.939 though. So showing that he can definitely do it. And he's making it a difficult task for Anthony Guyon to catch up to him. Here is Anthony coming through shot now. That's a beautiful view of the gap between the two in real time. Let's see if Anthony can try and close that gap in the remaining 15 minutes. We're halfway through this race now. Smits has been overtaken by AJ Masek. He's now into the top 4. Chasing after Andrew Berrien. Oh, another big crash when our producer Donis goes to Mr. Erobb. Goodness me. He's really sending it. I hope he does know he has to stay on the grey stuff. At almost 200 kilometers an hour, trying to keep that car in a straight line. What is he going to brake for the S's? Is he going to brake in time? You want to be braking around here? Yes, he is. Good job. Slow that car down. In time, Josh Olsen in P8. Expected a little bit more from him, I think, after what he did. In race 1 at Lime Rock Park. Erobb. Oh, is he going to overtake Smith? He is. He's right up the back of him. Now here comes the tricky part, the overtaking part. Where is he going to do that? Oh, he's had his moments into Moss corner. This is going into Quebec corner. Into Quebec. He's still behind him. He's still behind Smith, the long left-hander. Into Moss corner now. Don't break too late, Erobb. He's going to do it again. He's gonna kiss that wall again, isn't he? Oh, he doesn't. He manages to keep it out of the wall at least, but I think that's about the 7th time he's made the same mistake in that corner. Bless him. He did manage to keep it out of the wall this time at least. Oh, here's Victor in P10. Oh, stay off the middle of that track. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Oh, watch out here. The lead is coming through. My goodness. It's a bit like dodgeball out there for our leaders. Having to dodge back markers left, right, and center. Jay Masek is caught up now to the back of Andrew Berrien. This is the battle for the last spot on the podium. For 3rd place, and who knows? AJ himself knows that anything can happen at the front. He's having a look at the insides. For turn 1, doesn't make it stick. Here come the back markers. They're once again going to play their part in this race. Smith, oh, he's slow on the apex there. Braking to let them through. Here's a good back marker though. Trying to get out of the way ASAP. There's contact behind though with Connor Smith. And Connor Smith is forced to go off the track. So he loses another second or so in his pursuit of trying to catch back up to these two. A little bit of an off moment for Andrew Berrien, feeling the pressure from AJ Masek now. The gap to the two at the front though is about 9 seconds. So that's going to be a hell of a job to catch up. But you never know what happens. 10 minutes to go in this race now. A little bit over 10 minutes. And Guywan is getting closer to Jay Craig at the front of the field as well. So being there when it matters will be the aim of the game for AJ Masek. Does pass Andrew Berrien. He does it on track. Andrew Berrien does it off track. Once again, it was a back marker coming into play. Through our shot, did Erobb go. Gap at the front of the field between Anthony Guywan, who we're now on board with, and Jay Craig. 6/7 of a second. So he's closed that gap down from 3.5 all the way to 7/10. This is around the same storyline that we saw at Lime Rock Park. AJ Masek now in P3, free to chase these two down. If they start fighting here at the front now, things might be possible for AJ. Berrien in the battle now with Connor Smith after that moment. Gets pushed to the outside, isn't quite alongside enough to deserve any room really. Berrien dropped back to about 8/10. Here's that lead battle again. 8.5 minutes to go. The gap for the lead, half a second. We're once again going to have a cracking battle all the way to the end here. Don't go anywhere, you don't want to miss it. 8 minutes left in this race. I assume we have about a lap or 6, maybe 7 in the tank. Guywan down that long Mario Andretti straightaway. Will he take the inside for the S's? The first opportunity, he goes for it. Anthony Guywan move for the lead. He makes it stick into the S's. The outside for Jay Craig doesn't manage to carry it round. And he's demoted down to P2, has been leading this race for the longest of times, like he did at Lime Rock Park, but this time it's Anthony Guywan who makes his way past and immediately makes a statement. Look at that gap, 7/10 of a second immediately. Amazing battle between the two at the front, but it seems like the battle has been fought already. Can Jay Craig come back after the sucker punch that Anthony Guywan has given him now? Slipstream trying to have any effect here. Breaking late is Jay Craig, now risking everything to catch back up to Anthony Guywan, and he has managed to do so. Gap back down to 5/10 of a second. He was wobbling. It was against the ropes, was Jay Craig, about to be dropped out of that slipstream, out of the tow. But he managed to regather himself, managed to get up. He's back within 4/10 now of Anthony Guywan into the S's. This is the place where he got overtaken last lap, and look, he's confident as ever. Gaining back on the leader of this race, much more tidy through White's corner. That gains another 10th or so. Craig, is he going to wait till the last lap? Is he going to wait till his last opportunity? Does he want to wait till his last opportunity? Who knows? AJ Masek is not catching up anymore. His gap is about 14 seconds, a little bit under of to Jay Craig. It's Connor Smith trying to chase him down, 4.5 seconds back. It's Andrew Berrien in P5, Sam Dunford in 6th, Josh Dunford in 7th, Josh Olsen in 8th, Erobb in 9th. Trying to, well, at least keep the car on the track. He did well the first 10 minutes. But then all hell kicked loose. I think he's been touching the wall at Mosport there about 12 times in the last 7 minutes. And then it's Victor in P10, and then it's Smith in 11th. But Jay Craig and Anthony Guywan at the front of the field fighting it out. Back Marcus once again coming into play here. Anthony Guywan making his way through cleanly. Did lose a bit of time though on him. Look at the run that Jay Craig got. He's right underneath that rear wing of Anthony Guywan again. Not long left now. Surely he's going to try something. Surely he's going to try something. The inside for the left-hander up to Mosport. That's going to give him the outside. Late braking from Anthony Guywan is what gives him back that lead. But he's virtually pushing him through the corner, is Jay Craig. The exit is good. What can he do now down this long Mario Andretti straightaway? Once a straight where Mario Andretti made it pass for a championship deciding move. This time it's Jay Craig making the move, and Anthony Guywan, he's got past. 3 minutes 50 left, not long to go now. Where it looked like for a time that Anthony Guywan was just going to overtake and set off into the distance. Well, he hasn't. Jay Craig wasn't going down without a fight, and he's fought back. With 3.5 minutes to go, he's back into the lead. Question is, can he hold on to it? Anthony Guywan still not pursuit. Oh, late braking. Anthony is confident on the brakes going into Moss corner. How's the exit though? That's important. Oh, with the snap for Anthony Guywan. I thought he lost it. Oh my goodness me. That was a massive save for Anthony Guywan. But all that hard work might come undone with that one moment. I said that was the exit. Well, it was good for Jay Craig. It wasn't for Anthony Guywan. The exit for Andrew Berrien is good on Connor Smith though. That slipstream will start to do its work now. He will start to get closer to the rear wing of Connor Smith. Will he go inside or outside for the S's? Will be forced to the outside by Connor Smith. Pushed him onto the grass. Opened up the gap, still on the grass for Andrew Berrien. You're not going to make that stick hard. You know he isn't. The wall is his destiny. And he does manage to keep going, but not the cleanest of defenses, in my opinion, by Connor Smith. Did push Andrew Berrien, who was far enough alongside, onto the grass. But he's going to have to go again. 2 seconds now between the two. Anthony Guywan has closed that gap up at the front. And we're on the second to last lap now. Look at that. Jay Craig having difficulties overtaking back markers. That was Smith again. I think that's about the 5th time they've overtaken him this race. Second to last lap. If he's going to do anything, he's got to do it now. We have one last opportunity down the Mario Andretti straightaway next lap. With lap times of about 118, 119, especially when fighting. This will for sure be the last lap. Jay Craig will start him as the leader, but the most important thing will be who will end it as the leader. Anthony Guywan, who has seemed like deserving a win just as much as Jay Craig did in that last race. That got snatched away. Guywan spun, Jay Craig got caught up in it, and AJ Masick went running away with the victory at Lime Rock Park. This time AJ Masick nowhere to be seen in this picture. He's 15 seconds back, still on the podium though, but 15 seconds back of these leading two. Anthony Guywan once again confident going into Moss corner. How's the exit though? That's going to be important once they get a snap. 4 tenths, is that going to be enough? to try something into the S's. I don't think he's close enough. I reckon he isn't close enough to try and make a move even into the S's. Jay Craig might have done enough here. Through the S's for one final time. It wasn't this time at Lime Rock Park. He didn't quite open the championship as he wanted, but he finished the evening as he wants to. He wins at Mosport Park. Anthony Ngaiwan challenged him all the way, but he was just a little bit too late. With his run out of the last corner, a 10th between them, he finishes P2. AJ Masek, after a win at Lime Rock Park, will feel disappointed with a 3rd place at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Connor Smith finishes in a respectable 4th place. And Andrew Barrion in P5. Sam Dunford, he will come through in P6, keeping the car on the track at least. Phew! Time to breathe, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. Absolute storm that rolled around Lime Rock Park and Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. But what a evening we've had. Jay Craig wins the 2nd race of the evening ahead of Anthony Ngaiwan and AJ Masek in 3rd. Then Chris Smith, or Connor Smith, excuse me, in 4th. Andrew Berrien in 5th. Sam Dunford in 6th. Josh Dunford in 7th. Then it's Josh Olsen in 8th. Erobb in 9th. Victor in 10th. And Smith in P11. Well then, what an evening of racing we've had. We can't hear you though.
Hello.
Ah, there he is. Welcome in, AJ. How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Yeah, doing great in the commentary booth. You put on a real spectacle in both race 1 and race 2. Do have to question one thing. What happened in race 2? Why didn't you grid?
So in race 2, I went to look to see who was behind me gridded, and I pushed the wrong buttons and ended in the pits.
Oh, goodness me. So that meant you had to start from the back. You did provide us, though, with a great comeback in the 2nd race, coming up to P3. How difficult was that getting back through the field?
It was actually very difficult. Everybody has been really fast, and there's not a lot of room for error, so...
That is indeed the case. You always had to make your way through a huge crash on the 2nd to last lap at Lime Rock. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yep, I got a lucky guess on that one. I was trying to leave Tony some room on the inside just in case the car came back on track. Unfortunately, it did, and I saw Tony's rear wheels in front of me, so...
Well, with a good start of the championship like this, you must count yourself as one of the contestants to win the whole thing. Does this fill you with hope for the next week?
It does. I feel like I'm much more competitive this season than I was last season.
Well, sounds good. Well, congratulations for your victory and your 3rd place here this evening. And we'll let you go again. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was AJ. Let's get Jake into the commentary booth as well. Welcome in, Jake.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Well, Jake, that was a stellar race. He did give you a fight for it, though, in the end. It wasn't an easy one.
No, not at all. Tony always gives me a fight. We have a little bit of a fun rivalry at the Sim Center here. He usually beats me, but tonight I made it work.
You seemed like you had the pace at Lime Rock as well. It did get away from you in the end. Tell us a bit more about what happened there on the 2nd to last lap.
Yeah, that one felt a little bit more chaotic than the 2nd race, but small track, lots of cars everywhere, and I mean, I don't remember the exact details, but a couple people went sideways, a few of us went flying, and AJ took the win, so got a little wild, but all in fun.
With a 2nd place at Lime Rock and a 1st place here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, you ended in the lead of the championship. what's the plan for the rest of the week, Nels?
Keep trying to push. I got second in the last league, and Tony got first, so and we were separated by maybe like a couple points. So I gotta keep it up, and I can't let up.
Well, gonna try and do one better. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
All right, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
That was Jay Krieger, winner from the second race at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Well, that was 2 amazing races we've had here this evening, both at Lime Rock and at Mosport Park. We're going to thank you very much for watching. We're going to thank Erobb and Bob Russell for joining us at the One Line Racing Sim Center. And we'll see you next week when we continue with the Radical SR3 League. Until then,